The month of May is a time to reflect on motherhood and the blessing of adoption as one path to becoming a mom. It's a topic very close to my heart and close to the heart of our guest, Dr. Grazie Christie, Policy Advisor for the Catholic Association, mother to 5, and one of them is adopted.
That's right.
Welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
So your youngest is adoption. You say that adoption is the best thing that you ever did, but you talk about how it's different from having biological children. What do you mean?
You know, when we adopt, the whole physical, hormonal part, the part that connects us so deeply physically to our children, that part is absent. But in its place, we have a very deep spiritual connection. And it's a beautiful process that coming together, the mother and the child, and the father and the child.
But you say, you talk about the divine. What do you mean by the divine and how adoption is divine?
Well, you know, after I adopted and I got to know that beautiful process, you know, from the inside out, I started reading about it, and I realized that, like people know who know theology, that we are God's children through adoption, that this is a process that He takes with each one of us by choice. He chooses us and adopts us. So if that process is so grace-filled, then to participate in it ourselves with our adopted children is a beautiful thing.
In a recent article you wrote about your daughter, it was just lovely. You said, the space that separated her good from my good and my happiness from her happiness disappeared. I learned to love the other better than I loved myself, and this joyful motion to intimacy was a journey enabled by grace. When you say the other, describe what you mean by the other.
When we adopt a child, we are given a child that doesn't actually belong to us, right? He or she is given to us. And there's a separation between us, a physical separation. And then the child and the parents become one. And that is a beautiful process, a motion to intimacy. And I think that is the way that God calls each of us to become intimate with Him.
You know, you adopted your daughter. You have written this beautiful article about it. What has this taught you about God and God's love?
Well, I say when people ask me about adoption, I say that my daughter is proof that God loves me.
Because somehow, some way, you were connected together.
Yeah. And she is such a perfect gift that He must love me very much to have given me that gift.
And you were telling me a little bit about your story, that she's from China and that she was, when you wanted to adopt, actually just assigned to you.
That's right. The Chinese government assigned her to me and to my husband, of course, to her father.
Sure. And that, as a result, really just shows you the miracle of life.
I was telling you earlier that all our children are miraculous, because I have children by biology also, and they're miraculous. But when you have an adopted child, the miracle takes on all sorts of extra meaning. You know, the improbability of this union is so crazy that it must be from God.
It must be. Thank you so much, Dr. Grazie Christie, Policy Advisor for the Catholic Association.